We're here with Ari Juels. He's a legendary cryptographer. He was the inventor, or he gave the name to proof of work, which is at the basis of the consensus protocol of Bitcoin. And it was used in many other ways. And you're telling me you have a patent on a related technology for it's a different use case. What was that?
Well, to be clear, I don't hold the patent.
I was working
at a company at the time, a company called RSA, which filed a patent on an idea called client puzzles, which use proof of work as a deterrent to denial of service attacks. So the idea is that if a server comes under heavy load, then new service requests have to have proofs of work attached to them.
Interesting. Okay. And you've been a leader in blockchain research and blockchain science, I think, since 2018, I read, thereabouts?
Well,
maybe before?
I many years ago did research on what was called eCash, which was sort of an antecedent to what we now recognize as digital assets or cryptocurrency. And then I lost interest, did other things, and became interested again in 2015 when a colleague introduced me to smart contracts in particular.
Okay. Like that was right when Ethereum was coming of age, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So she told me about Ethereum, and I was really quite interested in smart contracts in a way that I wasn't interested in, and I'm not particularly interested in Bitcoin in particular. So, brilliant idea.
Yeah.
But the smart contracts impart kind of flexibility when it comes to application development that was a real hook for me.
You've been involved in this conference. We're here at the Science of Blockchain conference at Stanford, and you've been here, you've been working at this conference for a while, is that right?
I've been helping organize it for a few years, but it was the brainchild of Dan Bonet in particular.
Okay. And I mean, how would you say that blockchain research has evolved over that period of time?
The community has grown, the academic community, let's say the research community writ large, those have grown pretty considerably. I think because blockchain technology touches so many different areas of computer science and other disciplines as well.
Yeah.
So the interdisciplinary nature has drawn people in, as well as the projection onto their own individual areas of specialization. I will say that in general, in computer science departments, there isn't very high regard for the science of blockchain, if you will.
Okay. And why is that? Yeah, go ahead.
Just because of the general bad reputation of cryptocurrencies, meme coins and scams and so on and so forth. And I think a lack of recognition of how substantive the underlying technology is, even if there's this kind of malfeasance on the surface all too often.
Yeah. Well, okay, and more recently, you have become more interested in the intersection of crypto and AI. Is that right?
It is, yes. Mostly coming at the idea that there is an intersection with a certain amount of skepticism.
Okay.
Of certain, I think, recognized certain areas of promise, I would say, but I think a lot of the noise around the intersection of the two technologies was probably just driven by a desire in the blockchain community to cotton on to this shiny new object.
Don't ever put it past them.
But I do think that there are substantive connections between the two technologies. Even though on the face of it, they have very different characteristics. And I like to characterize crypto as a hard technology, meaning that it leaves very little room for error and uses, as a consequence, building blocks that are robust in a security sense,
Yeah.
and are mathematically crisp. That's something one can say of cryptography. Whereas AI, I think of as a soft technology.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Right? It's one where it's tolerant of error and ambiguity, which imparts a certain power to it. You say this is its real power. But at the same time, it's hard to pin down exactly how to secure AI-powered systems as a result, because it's unclear what it means for such a system to be secure. Often security, it has a semantic dimension to it that becomes even psychological or philosophical in nature. What does it mean securely to implement the instructions of a human operator when the human operator may not be expressing those instructions precisely, or may not even know precisely what it is she wants to accomplish, right? And so when you put the two together, often they don't mesh very naturally.
Yeah, in the paper that you came out with, which was kind of a comprehensive review of what's been done in the science in the science of blockchain of blockchain and crypto, right? I think you described it as, or maybe this was just in the press release, soldering with Jello, or what was your?
Yeah, like soldering Jello. I was trying to convey the fact that the two don't mesh, at least on the face of it, very naturally.
Yeah.
Right, and this is why I came to the idea of the two as intersecting technologies with a certain degree of skepticism.
I mean, we were at ETH Denver this year, and Austin Griffith from the Ethereum Foundation. I don't know if you know him, but he's their head of developer growth, I think is his title. And he was talking about how, going back to the smart contracts, AI makes it so easy now to write smart contracts. Like, you don't even have to learn Solidity, the language. You just have to kind of know what's possible. I don't know. Have you done much thinking about that?
Well, the coding applications of AI aren't blockchain specific.
Yeah, right. Of course. Yeah.
Everyone is using AI for coding.
Yeah.
On the other hand, smart contract code has to be absolutely bulletproof.
Interesting.
Right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Vulnerabilities have severe consequences.
Yeah.
And AI tools are turning out to be, especially as has been demonstrated recently, excellent at turning up vulnerabilities, at conducting code audits. So they're probably they are already indispensable tools in crafting secure smart contracts.
Yeah.
Right. So I guess in that sense, AI tools are very well geared to, this is an instance where they are very well geared to blockchain use cases where the intersection of the two technologies is real.
Yeah. Yeah. In that last panel, I don't know if you were in that one, but it was all about the quantum resistance of the various blockchain and the readiness of the industry. I'm curious if you have thoughts about AI. How does that play into that race? Is it speed up development of these quantum computers? Is it like bring forward the risk and the threat, or maybe makes it easier to address the issue? I don't know. Do you have any thoughts on that topic?
That's not an area I know well, but I do know that AI tools are speeding the development of new and more effective quantum algorithms for attacking existing public key cryptography.
Interesting.
Primitives. So basically, they will help pave the way to the collapse of ECDSA. Standard digital signature used in.
And is that an area you're monitoring, that the industry readiness and the transition, the migration? That's not your thing.
Not an area I follow closely.
Got it. And what in your mind is kind of like the hottest? I mean, especially maybe sticking with the crypto AI. I mean, that's what we're interested in. Is kind of, we define it broadly, but I mean, what do you think is the hottest kind of use case or application or that's happening right now?
I don't know. It's very early days.
Yeah,
right?
okay.
If you had asked me 5 years ago what the hottest area of blockchain technology was, where it would have the most traction in the real world, I would not have said stablecoins.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Interesting.
Any prediction I make now, I'm sure is going to be disproven, debunked in a few years. So it's very hard to know, for instance, how agentic use cases and the agentic economy will emerge.
What about payments? Seems like the payments is really, from my perspective, it's one use case that is getting adopted by everybody now.
Yes.
Like the micropayment, like even Visa is building on crypto rails, right, for their agentic commerce stuff.
It may be. I haven't followed Visa's entree into agentic payments, but it would make sense.
I mean, that's what I see is just like everybody who's doing micropayments for agentic commerce now. It's some kind of blockchain solution.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, it makes sense from a technological standpoint. Yes. Yeah. So payments, including stable coins and possibly eventually agentic payments, have been one of the triumphs of cryptocurrency and blockchain.
What are you interested in these days?
I'm quite interested in agentic safety.
Okay.
And I don't even know how to define that term in the best possible way yet, because I don't fully grasp the risks. But I'm interested in some of the, let's say, long tail or more speculative risks, because I think they are becoming possibilities that are all too real.
Give us some examples. Like what are you worried about, or what do you think is a risk?
Well, when I first started exploring blockchain technologies to begin with, as I mentioned, it was out of an interest in smart contracts. And the first paper that I co-authored on the topic was on the use of smart contracts for crime, actually.
Okay. Like what? What did that do?
Well, we published a paper on a few different ways that smart contracts could be used for criminal endeavors, including, for instance, issuing bounties for the compromise of certificate authority keys.
Okay. Okay.
So, the security of the internet is underpinned by what's called a public key infrastructure.
Right. Okay.
Which means effectively that there are private keys like those used to secure cryptocurrency wallets that are securing the internet itself. And if you can get a hold of one of these, you can generate a fake certificate, then you can effectively impersonate a website, right? They're very valuable if you can get your hands on them. Well, you could, in principle, stand up a smart contract that is soliciting an underground community to provide you with one of these things, and offering a bounty that, of course, would be paid automatically, thanks to the automation that smart contracts themselves represent. So that was one idea. But the more interesting one, perhaps, was soliciting criminal behavior in the real world. So we had some lurid examples, but these are benign examples.
Yeah. Well, more lurid, the better. I mean, hey, if it bleeds, it leads, right?
Okay. Well, so we actually give an example in our crypto AI survey paper.
Okay.
I'll give you a benign example.
Okay.
Relatively benign, right? So you could ask somebody, for instance, to deface a public monument, fly a red balloon above the Washington Monument, is the example in the paper. And a smart contract could offer a bounty for somebody to do this.
Okay, I see.
Then the question is, how does the smart contract know that somebody actually perpetrated the crime that's being solicited? And how does the smart contract, of course, know whom to pay for this? Right? And glossing over the second question, the way that the smart contract can determine that it happened is through the use of news feeds. Those news feeds need to be interpreted. How they get interpreted? Well, they would be interpreted by an AI tool. When we published this paper back in 2015, 2016,
Wow, that's when you were working on that. Okay.
Yeah, so we just used the term natural language processing.
Okay.
There were no LLMs to speak of at the time, but now, of course, the technology exists to build a tool of this kind for good or ill. So this is, you were asking what kind of tail risks or futuristic risks I'm concerned about. This is one of the things I'm concerned about, and I in fact wrote a novel about exactly this scenario.
Okay, we were looking about what you wrote, the Oracle.
The Oracle.
Okay,
right.
Okay, and what happens in that plot?
The premise of the novel is that people are being targeted by smart contracts that are soliciting their deaths, their assassinations.
Okay.
Using, essentially the kind of setup that I described with some other necessary bells and whistles. So
and what is it? Does AI get involved in this?
It's involved to the extent that the smart contracts, again, to know what's going on in the real world, need an interpreter.
Okay.
An interpreter is.
Like if somebody's killed, the AI's
it needs to interpret
confirming whether it's
right.
actually happened.
Right. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was a concern in the novel. Thankfully, it's not that easy with existing infrastructure to build something like this. But a few years down the road, this type of thing could be a real risk. Right? Smart contracts would enable people to solicit crimes of this type and to do it with a certain amount of impunity to the extent that they can act anonymously on blockchains. Of course, strong privacy is the tools to enforce really strong privacy on blockchains are still emerging. But if you couple privacy coins with smart contracts, then you've set up the preconditions for criminal smart contract or rogue smart contract of the type that I described.
Wow.
And this is one of the things that that concerns me. Again, this is.
And is there any way to prevent that? I mean, is that what you're working on? Is how to stop that, or is it just something you're like, yeah, this is going to happen?
Yeah, I don't have good thoughts about how to.
Interesting.
how to prevent it, other than to follow the current prescription, which is. Itself, just follow the money. Privacy coins make that more difficult.
Yeah,
which is one reason
interesting.
why safeguards are important, not just for this purpose, but for the criminal uses of cryptocurrency in general. Right?
Thank you so much for your time. It's been amazing.
Yeah.
Talking with Ari Juels of Cornell.
Thank you.